happy that it worked out like this, but I think it was not that clear as it sometimes seems today when we look back. At that time they had a narrow window of opportunity, the political leaders of the 2+4 countries, and they just grabbed that chance. No idea what have happened if there had been use of force. It was a strong movement going on at that time because it was a movement of the people. What we today call a grassroots movement, not initiated by politicians. It was a people's movement. Wir sind das Volk, we are the people. And then later, wir sind ein Volk, we are one people. So the people of Eastern Germany achieved the German unity. They overcame 800 miles of concrete, 10 feet high walls, barbed wire, automated rifles, death strip, and, as it was pointed out before, without a single shot fired. It's a peaceful revolution, and I think we can really call that a success story, and something the German people can be proud of. And pride, as we have it in German, Nationalstolz, national pride, always was a problem for the Germans. For two reasons, I think. Number one, nation, national. Germany kind of missed that nation building that other countries had, like France, for example. Reason number two, our history, where we had, well, a lot of years where we don't have any reason to be proud of. So we always had a problem with national pride. And I think back then, 20 years ago, there was a new development starting, which kind of culminated then, again, in the Soccer World Cup 2006 that we had in Germany, with the motto, "The world hosted by friends." And this really gave a big boost to a positive image of Germany abroad. Because our guests realized that after all, Germans may be sympathetic. That there is more than only Mercedes and BMW in Germany. The German government then wanted to, well, would like to use this kind of momentum and, well, work on that new image and make it clear that it's not limited to soccer or tourism or trade issues, and also make the statement that we would like to assume more international responsibilities, because there's something the Germans and the German government can really contribute to the problems of the world. Sense of mind, I think, ideas, and expertise, especially in the field of climate protection. We have a very elaborate recycling system, for example, working in Germany. People needed to get used to it, but it is working. We are one of the leading countries in the question of solar power. So looking at the climate summit coming up in Copenhagen, there's something the Germans can contribute, and this is combined with the German approach to international politics, that we try to solve problems in a multilateral way and not unilateral. We think we need a sustainable action to counter the climate change and a development strategy for the whole planet. And this is one of the topics Federal Chancellor Angela Merkel is discussing today also with President Obama. Concluding, I would say the peaceful revolution in Eastern Europe changed the global political climate, and let's take up the challenges of the 21st century together, especially climate change. And well, in the way that the German government would like to contribute, I would ask each and every one of us to contribute to tackle these problems. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raffi, for your ideas. I hope those of you in the audience who have questions on issues, please jot them down on your card and we collect them later, and hopefully we can discuss them as on the panel. Dr. Hart, would you like to go next with your statement? We thought we'd take care of the out-of-town guests first. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and thanks to Susanne for the invitation and to give me the opportunity to join the choir on commemorating November 9th, 1989. I really would like to see that we move quickly to the discussion, therefore my remarks will be very brief and have only two parts of it. Where it's very obvious that there's reason to celebrate November 9th, 1989, things that we already mentioned, the peaceful revolution that took place prior to the wall coming down, to signaling the end of the Cold War, and changing the mapping of Europe as a whole, as we know it, and we'll hear about it in a little while. I would like still to question, however, what is it exactly that we are celebrating on November 9th? I mentioned the most obvious things, but it is striking to me that we just heard how the official government sees the November 9th, 1998 as a moment to be, again, regain pride in being German, being proud of the achievements that the German history, culture, and so on has brought to the world. However, I have some problems with that. And that is that with the November 9th, 1989, it seems an easy shift for Germans to say, now there's a happy moment in history in the 20th century. It's about time. After all, 2 times they started a world war, and now we can, so to speak, come to the end of the 20th century and be happy again, because it gives us reason to be something to be proud of and to hang on to. However, November 9th is a strange date in German history, because there are 2 other dates that are very significant. November 9th, 1918 was when the First World War ended, and for the first time Germany had a republic declared. That happened on November 9th, 1918. On November 9th, 1938, there's, however, another strange date in German history, and that is the systematic destruction of the synagogues in Germany as well as in Austria. And that is the time of the Nazi terror, at the height and most symbolic, violent, concerted effort. And it is very interesting that in the context of the celebration of 1989, 20 years ago, that you rarely hear Germans speak about the connection to 1938. While there is no direct connection, I want to make that clear, there is no direct connection, no cause and effect. However, I'm very cautious to remind us how to remember 1989. And you can't have one without the other, really, even though there is no direct link. And that is, in all the celebration of 20 years ago, that are very happy moments, no doubt about it, we should definitely not forget that 1938 took place. And I happened to teach this fall a course on the Berlin Wall for students at Emory. And we are reading a book written by a British author, probably the best narrative out there on the Berlin Wall. It's called The Berlin Wall. And it is striking to see that the word Holocaust is not mentioned one single time. And that is, to me, where I give pause, where I have to put it into context. I'm not saying there's no reason to celebrate 1989. We have all the reasons to do so.